Intro. Hi, and welcome to Dogman Teepee Hunting. And if you're listening to this, it'll be on the Interdimensional Voyagers podcast. I need to update that because I haven't been updating that. Hi, and welcome. Thanks for joining me. And yeah, I had a bit of a break, so yeah, I'll be going into that in a little while because that's the reason why I haven't been posting on Facebook. I haven't been posting on YouTube very much, spits and spats. Luckily, I had a bit of kind of material saved up because, to be honest with you, I was like, I on January the when was it? Early January. It must have been about the 8th or 9th of January. I had a telephone call from the hospital, and the hospital said, "Oh, um, your dodgy hip you got, we've got a place for surgery." I was like, "Oh, that's good." It's been a couple of years, 2, 3 years. So I thought, wow, and I jumped at it and I said, "When is it?" And they said, 24th of January. That's going to be the date of the operation. I was like, "That's really soon." So yeah, that was that kind of like yeah, hit me sideways, and I was like, "Oh, okay." But the good part is it was so quick. It didn't really give me a chance. Didn't really give me a chance to think about it. I just like kind of gathered together what I needed. My missus was fantastic. She's like kind of "Oh, Phil, okay, yeah, you're gonna need underpants." And you go, "Oh, you're definitely gonna need underpants." Yeah, I was like, "No, yeah, I'm gonna need underpants." So I thought, well, okay, that's great. But one thing I would say, it was a total hip replacement I had, and the hospital were fantastic. Who've we got? Hey, hello, Dawn Hewitt. Hello, madam. Good to see you. Thank you for being here. And yeah. So anyway, yeah. One thing that nobody told me about, I had no idea, because the last time I was ever in hospital was for and this is just going to be brief. Okay, I'm going to get onto some Dogman business. All right, in a little bit, but I just want to kind of say thank you to basically the hospital, and I just want to explain a little bit in case you ever face kind of a total hip replacement, just like kind of a little bit what to expect and what to kind of like get. Don't forget. You know. Anyway, where was I? Oh, Sean Patterson. Hey, bro. Hello, mate. You're right. Thank you for joining. Anyway, where was I? Where was I? Oh, yeah. Um, so, uh, into hospital I went. Now, I very quickly I got hold of my pride, yeah, and I chucked it out the window in the ward. Totally threw it out the window. My pride. I said goodbye, like that, because the one thing you lose as soon as you go into hospital, it was 7 a.m. That's the time I had to go in. And I was like, oh, blimey, yeah, that's early. And so they put the gown on you, and you're kind of like butt naked, other than the gown. So, me caveman arse hanging out. And uh, then the consultant comes round, and then the anesthesiologist comes round and chats to you and stuff. And then next thing you know, you're in a waiting room, and then you've got this lady who's like kind of in the admissions for the operation thing, and she goes through a few checklists. Are you Phil? Yeah, I am. Um, and then, oh, you get a magic marker as well. Could you mark on your leg the leg that needs the hip replacement for us? I was like, yep, sure. So I did that. Now, at the time, I thought it was a bit odd. What if you sort of did it on your forehead? You know, but I thought I better not, just in case. They may not see the funny side of it, and I might end up paying the price. But yeah, so you got to mark your own leg just to be sure. They're so, and I've got to take my hat off to them. Every routine that they have, everything that they do is with military precision, absolute military precision, and they just like kind of know their individual jobs and they get on with it. And it's such a shame because when you look around, they've got like they're working with equipment which looks like it's just come out of a Carry On film, you know? The Carry On matron where it's like kind of most of the equipment's like really archaic that they got to work with, and it's such a pity. It's such a pity. I mean, the whole hospital, to be honest, is like kind of quite good. Needs a good refit. Everything is been it's meant to have a new hospital built, but that'll probably be in a few thousand decades. I don't know. But who have we got? Hey Kate, how you doing, mate? Glad you can make it. Yeah, Sean Patterson. Got Madam Dawn Hewitt. Yeah, very very lovely. And yeah, anyone else? Now with this live, what I'm going to do is I've got some testimonies. Is that the right word? Testimonies, yeah, from two different witnesses. I have spoken to one of those witnesses this afternoon because I just wanted to get it right. I wanted to get the story absolutely bang on. So, lovely person. They phoned me, had a long conversation, and we, got it sort of like banged out, if you like. And then I rewrote it, and so it's like kind of in a easy to understand, thing. So I'll just turn that up a little bit. So, anyway, where was I? Oh yeah, pride. Yeah. So then they get all your details. Right. I went and had the last week because of nerves. I'll just before I go and jump on the gurney. I'll just have the last week. Anyway, then afterwards came on, jumped on the gurney, and then went in. Then they give you a was it a what is that when when ladies are in labour and they have an epidural. They gave me an epidural, and I said, oh, when we spray you and your back, it's going to be cold. Cold? Oh my lord, freezing, absolutely freezing. I nearly jumped off. So are you're holding on to like a step ladder, a small step ladder with your feet on it, and you kind of like bent over so that your spine's kind of like in lordosis mode, as it were, bent over a bit, and then they spray, and then they give you this like long needle injection in your back. Doesn't hurt, uncomfortable, but doesn't hurt. Anyway, so you have that. And the funny thing is when you kind of like have someone when you were kids, especially, used to sort of like tap your knee, and then if you hit the right spot, your knee would go boop, boop, like that. So they've done the same, but with this thing in your back. And every now and then, so anesthesiologist said, if you feel any movement in your legs, that's fine, but if you can let us know, because they use that as a guide whether or not they've got the debris in the right position. So anyway, yeah, they were playing about with me like a marionette with my legs. They're flying all over the place. So I said to them, look, it looks like I'm doing a scene out of Singing in the Rain here. Yeah, that I don't know why the screen keeps getting up there. Hang on, just have a look. Right, that might be better. Annoying. That's really annoying. That's really annoying when the camera does that. Who we got on? Nicola. Pipik, how are you, mate? Long time long time no talk. I hope you're keeping well. And I hope you kind of as we spoke of before. Wonder if you've kind of like had any more visitors, as it were. But lovely to your name does pop up. You know what I mean? Your name does always pop up, and I suppose mine does to you. And it's nice. But we ought to chat again. Sometime. I really enjoyed it. Charity Thornton, you made it. Well, yes, you did. You made it. You didn't miss a lot, actually. It could be an hour down the line. You still didn't miss a lot. But anyway, good to see you. Thank you for joining us. Appreciate it. Let's get the camera because it keeps flickering. Natalie Mosley. Hi, Natalie. Thank you for joining. Very nice to see you again. Let's have a look. Yeah, keep those ghosties coming, Natalie. Keep those ghosties coming. Oh, I just wondered, Natalie, have you spotted anything more kind of, because you had a little bent towards, kind of. I remember seeing something you sent me, with that strange entity type thing. I just wondered if you've seen anything more along those lines. But anyway, we shall see. We shall see. Where was I now? Oh yeah, epidural. Yeah. So then you have that. Then your legs go like jelly. So you then like kind of get put on the lay down on the gurney. Then you go in and they kind of give you the main. They lay you down, put you on your side for my hip, so I was laying on that side. And then, Natalie said, not seen anything else in the woods recently. Oh, okay, keep an eye out. Keep that eye out because they're always you never know. You're always lurking about. Not to scare you, but sometimes it is scary, but not to scare you. It's fun. But then again, horses scare me. Can't go anywhere near a horse. I tried it, can't do it. And I know, Natalie, you love your horses, but I just cannot do it. It's legs are so big and they got metal shoes, big Blakeys on them. It's like, oof, no, get hit by one of those. Anyway, what was that? Yeah, so oh yeah, and then yeah, because you get the occasional kind of like joke going on. This is not going to hurt us one bit, Phil. Oh, so funny. Yeah, uh, yeah. It's gonna be fine for us, Phil. That's it. And I said when they gave me the anaesthetic, the main anaesthetic, that puts you like to sleep. Because some brave souls, don't have the main anaesthetic, the general. They don't have it. They just have like that epidural thing, and then the sheet over, and boom, that's it. I was like, no way, I'm not having that. No, I'm not that ballsy. So no, put me to sleep. Let me go to the land of North. Lovely, And I thought I'd have to count down to 10, which I thought was going to be difficult, my mentality. But no, they didn't have to do that. Even I said, no, you don't have to bother counting 10. It was fine. It's all right. You just like, you got off I went. And then when I woke up, they bring you round with gas and air. And they were still stapling up my wound that I had. And I turned around and said, what's that joint that you put in there? Was it a good one? Was it like one second hand one? I said, no, it's a good one. So yeah, get 25 years out of that. Evidently, it's like some ceramic cup, because you've got a cup, and then you've got the ball joint that goes inside. So that part which goes in, they use adhesive, and that part is ceramic, and then this part is like an alloy, I think, and there's stainless steel ball. But yeah, 25 years, which will probably outlast me, probably. But let's hope not. But there we go. I don't want to be a dribbling mess, but I'm halfway there anyway. But so yeah, and then you come to, and then you end up going into like this after post-op ward, which is nice because they like you still got the oxygen, but they take the mask off. They put a nebulizer, 2 tubes in your nose, which is fine, not uncomfortable. None of this so far has been really that bad at all. So anyone facing it, don't worry. Also, before I knew I had I needed a hip replacement, I got tested. They thought it was sciatica. They then thought it was herniated discs, a bad back. Eventually, by sheer chance, one doctor turned around and said, "Do you know what, Phil? Let's have let's X-ray your hips." And he did, and that's when they knew, and they thought, boom, because all X-rays now are vetted, if you like. Doctor never sees them, a surgeon never sees them really. First point of call is AI, because AI is great at seeing, regular, kind of. It can red flag up anomalies very, very quickly, put that way. But I couldn't think of the right word I was going to say. But yeah, it can red flag up anomalies really, really quickly. So they use AI on a lot of X-rays and stuff now, even with meds and stuff. But so yeah, back on the post-op, then they take you down. You think you're going to go back to ward and have biscuits, cake, tea, just lie there and lovely. No. They then take you to X-ray, because they want to see how that new hip replacement the cup and the ball is doing. So how it's placed, how it is, how it's working. So they take you down to X-ray. You get shuffled in really quick. Everything is really quick. Absolutely fantastic. Staff brilliant. The nurses, the surgeons, absolutely superb. And it wasn't private, NHS. You know. Yeah, I can't grumble. Really can't grumble. Anyway, so back up from X-ray, and then a little while afterwards went back on wards. But before I did, they said, "Oh, your bed on the ward's gone." I was like, "What?" Yeah, I had that with ER or A&E. They had an influx of people probably stumbling in with broken hips. I don't know, but they yeah. So someone had jumped into my bed, as it were. So I had to wait until they'd shuffled off because they're not too keen on that. I don't think anyway. I was pre-booked for a number of years to go, but then when they have emergency admissions, it kind of puts the whole thing out of swing for them, and they're like, oh no, really, So anyway, eventually I got my bed back, and then the fun and games of the pride business started because cannot move. When you're in bed, you can't move. And so everything you have to I had to, like the toilet, number one's wheeze, right? You get given, and they're fabulous. They're really good, absolutely fantastic. These cardboard tubes with a funny little shape, with like a bowl shape, and then like a long tube tunnel, Anyway, so I had one of those, and kind of like got wee in bed. That took a bit getting used to, but when you got to go, you will go. So, and I had two other people on the ward with me. There's a male ward, women's ward's another ward, and the two old boys. One was 72, I think, and James. I did say that I'd use his name. He said, "Yeah, that's fine, Phil. Yeah, I've never been on a cryptid site before." I was like, "That's good." And John as well, the old boy is 78. John was a bit of an enigma for James and me because we were in there having James having a knee operation, a knee replacement, and I had a total hip replacement. Old boy John, 78, he said, "Oh, I'm in for a hip replacement as well." I was like, "Oh, okay." But when it came round to the meds, he didn't need any painkillers. I was like, "What?" He seemed to be up and about before us, and he was a lot older, and I was like, "What the hell?" He's like Superman. So yeah, that was a bit of an enigma for us. And James and myself were like looking at each other like, "What's wrong with us?" We're both a bit younger. What's wrong with? It's superhuman. So anyway, so pride just goes out the window. You got a curtain, but when the commode comes around, you get all the special effect noises with the commode. You get you got a wee at the middle of the night. You can't get up to close the curtain yourself. The nurse is not there. So you got a wee in front of people, and I got up at 2 a.m, didn't get up, but woke up, and there was James. He'd managed to get up because he said, "Oh, you're right, Phil. Through gravity, it's a lot easier to wee." And he was like, kind of, a few feet away from us, like kind of weeing with a big smile on his face. Oh, Phil was marvelous. I was like, "Right, okay." But these are complete strangers, basically, that you just sort of hit upon. But no, it's quite funny, really. And then. Then the med cart comes round certain times, which is great. Oh, hello, Charity. Yep, I said I did. Yes, made it. I know you did. Yep. So I spotted you again. Med cart comes round, and like a kid with an ice cream van. It's fantastic when you see that med cart come round. Oh, it's brilliant. You get one other cart comes round before that, and that's to take your blood pressure, your blood oxygen, everything else, all those things, and then you get the med cart. And the med cart's all governed. The meds are all governed by AI as well, because I've got a little tablet and it tells them who should have what and when. And but yeah, it's great. You see the med cart, everyone gets quite excited, and some kick-ass meds. That was really good. But other than that, 2 days in, 2 nights in. and it was okay. It's okay. Before you leave, you have to do certain things. You have to, be able to walk with crutches, and you have to negotiate a flight of stairs with crutches safely. Okay. If you can do that, then it's like sayonara. There you go. There you go. One bit of advice I've sort of would recommend is underpants, baggy. Get a size bigger than what you need, because it's very, very difficult when you have a hip hop. It's very difficult to bend, as you can imagine. You can't bend. It's a nightmare. So you end up trying to use the crutch that you've got. I was trying to use the crutch to kind of loop it up about the elastic to try and pull it up to a height that I can reach it to pull it up. And invariably, the crutch would slip off the underpants and hit me where I don't want to be hit, really. And that happened quite a few times, which wasn't pleasant. But then the med cart would come and everything would be all right again. Yeah, that, and also another thing I would say to do is make sure you get your hair cut before you go in, because you're not going to be going anywhere for a good few weeks afterwards, and your toenails cut. Sounds silly, I know, but with hindsight, make sure you get your toenails cut, yeah, short, before you go in, because you're never going to reach them afterwards, yeah, unless you get someone else to cut them. I've been asking Basil really to if he can nibble mine, but he refuses to go anywhere near my feet. But yeah, that's the two bits of advice. But other than that, it's okay. Don't be scared. It's fine. It's not a problem at all. And I just want to thank Princess Alexandra Hospital and the staff, the surgeons, everyone, for absolutely fantastic job they do. In and around an environment that really, the government should be ashamed of. It should be just brought up, to a standard, for them to be able to, with their skills, because they're using a lot of equipment that is like kind of, around them that is kind of old and, archaic. It does the job. They do the job, and it does the job. But you can see yourself, you can see, it's like kind of a bit could be better, But anyway, so yeah, and that's it. And then you're off for 6 to 8 weeks. I'm off a bit longer because I had a few little. I have had to have blood thinners for a bit longer than I thought, which Rox, my missus, has thoroughly enjoyed, because I can't take aspirin because it gives me bellyache. So I've had injections for it. So I've had jabs, and of course they've gone into me. You go into your tummy. Me being a big girl's blouse I am, find it very, very difficult to inject myself. Cannot do it. I did try it, but I was trembling too much. So I don't know how these drug addicts do it really, but so yeah, she takes great pleasure. She was jumping for joy at the opportunity to jab me with a syringe in the stomach, which as it has been going on for now about 22 weeks, I think. 22 weeks, and it's still ongoing. I've still got a few more 22 days, not weeks, days. And it's still ongoing, so I've got about 26 in total to do. But other than that, that's blood thinners. So yeah, I'm going to be off until May. But work are really good, so they're understanding. Oh, Sean, yeah, best wishes on recovery. Thank you, mate. All right, Nicola said no new. Let's have a look. No new experiences, but as time goes by, my memories are more clear. And I spoke to a friend who confirmed me that I told them about my second encounter the morning. Ah, cool. Yeah, we should. I'll tell you what. Message us and we'll pencil in a time, and because I'd like to catch up anyway. We had a good laugh. We did, And this time, use headphones, please. Use headphones. Right. look, best wishes and recovery. Thank you very much, Sean. Not seeing anything else in the woods recently. That's Natalie. Yeah. Oh, Kate says, hi, Charity. Charity, yep, I made it, which is very lovely. Let's have a look at it. Oh, yeah. Madam has said, how's the hip hop? Laugh out loud. Yes, the hip hop. Yep. Getting there. So, just change of tack, slightly, and that is these testimonies that I've had. So, one of them, is, from a long time ago. Is that still flickering, that screen? Honestly, what's going on? But yeah, one of them's from a long time ago. This person messaged me. I think it must have been about a year and a half ago, and it was like kind of a bit on and off, you know. Messaged me saying about, you know, having this experience happen, that experience happen, and it wasn't, you know, with time it became a bit more clearer because their story didn't change and the detail increased, and yeah, very believable, credible person. And I asked them, I said, look, they've had other experiences in and around this area. They don't want to let the area out yet, because it's had so much going on, that they want to kind of, and the land that it's on is part of another facility, if you like. So, you know, it's a bit kind of sketchy from that point of view. But you know, from what the information they've given me, I know where it is. They've asked me not to say, and I won't. But hopefully, if I talk to this person, be pretty cool to actually go there and investigate as well. But the testimony, one of them at least, anyway, I shall read to you. It was a while ago. This one was. Let's have a look. Right, testimony 2. Now this is Lancashire. Okay, this one's from Lancashire, June 1991. 13 years old, approximately 2 p.m. in the afternoon, hot and clear sky. I was cutting through a field next to the woods. I saw what I thought were 2 other kids on the sports field from a distance. As I get closer and look again, I see a large figure in front of me and no kids on the field. 8 to 10 foot tall, male, short black hair, dark grey skin. Same as the Patterson Gimlin footage, but thinner and taller. American football player shape. So that's kind of interesting, because very often you see them as, you know, with a bit of weight behind them, you know. And that reminds me, the way it's described there, that reminds me of another testimony that I had that I put up on a video, and it's anonymous, but really good testimony called The Howl, Howl. And in that, he describes the same type of creature, thinner, less body weight, taller, less body weight, but hairy all over. He called them wood boogers, but different person, totally different person, different area, different account, years apart. So, you know, that kind of, you know, that kind of, with me, it makes it a bit more credible, you know, because it's very easy to sort of join the gang and say, oh, it's massive, it's huge. Yeah, it's 4 foot. It was 4 foot wide at the shoulders. It must have weighed 750 kilos, 3/4 of a ton. It was huge, you know. So it's very easy to do that because it's like kind of, you know, but to say it's completely different from a physicality point of view, yeah, it's going out there a bit. But when you get two different testimonies, that was kind of, anyway, yeah, what was it? American football player shape. Walking straight up on 2 feet. I never saw its face, only from side on. I shouted, "Hey!" and it ignored me. I looked to my left to see if I was alone for a second, and when I looked back, it disappeared in front of my eyes. And we know that one. We do know that one. That's not something new. Disappeared in front of my eyes. It was in the middle of a field. I walked up to where it would have entered the woods, and it was silent. It turned around and walked back the way I came. If you've ever been to a traveling circus as a kid and you get that creepy feeling seeing clowns and people walking around on stilts, that is the type of height it looked and the feeling I got. Yeah, I can relate to that. You know, when you see those like clowns and things on stilts, they're going around. When you get close to them, especially if they come from behind you, and you're like, "What?" That, you know, yeah, it's quite a thing, you know. Right, so what are the ended with the feeling I got? Yeah, the height it looked and the feeling I got. All right, here we go. I passed it off as my imagination or a rugby player. My memory was only triggered lately, 30 years later. That's how long it's taken. Very often again happens with witnesses where they kind of, the memory at the time, it was almost like the mind, you know, it's like it acts like a bit of a crash test dummy, and it kind of, you know, just falsifies it. It puts it away in a little box and stuffs it in some corner of your mind so you can get on with your life. You know, when it happens so young to you. And it's not until that little box starts to sort of leak out or break apart that memory comes out, and you have more time and you have more, I suppose, more questioning of life. And you tend to think, oh, I wonder, hang on, I do remember that happening. You know, and you kind of like got a more rounded view on life. And yeah, so it makes sense. Later it was. After or before the event, I remember seeing a big fallen beech tree in full uh, blown, right where it would have entered the wood. So a beech tree had fallen over right where this wood bugger or entity, this thin, tall, 10-foot tall thing went into the wood, which had a creepy tree structure next to it. Its roots, old sticks placed in a fishbone pattern. Well, I know that one. Yeah, like a teepee structure, basically. Um, yeah, and a fishbone pattern. Yeah, other kids used to sit on the tree, and I remember avoiding it and getting a bad feeling. Other kids said there was a werewolf in the cemetery. There must be a cemetery nearby, and that there was something watching them in the woods. I never believed any of this. Maybe it's connected to the cemetery, or it became, or it came up. It came up from the book, or from the moors. Yeah. Now I can't really, on hearing that, is like kind of just a written testimony, but I can't tell you how much that this guy has. And this is just one of his testimonies. And you know, he's had quite a few, and he's been one of these which has constantly, over a period of a couple of years, messaged on YouTube, messaged me. And it's kind of been a growing process, with this person. It's been a growing process, and it's not until the recent testimonies that he's had that I've sort of pieced it together a little bit. But at the moment, they want to stay anonymous, and that's fine. I get it, and I'll keep anyone anonymous. If they want to be anonymous, that's fine. Fully understand it. Everyone's got different lives and jobs, and no one wants to be a complete, like me, but it's just like, yes, I'll believe in ghosts and ghoulies and cryptids, and I've seen this and I've seen that, because it's, you get a lot of sticks, so I get it, so I just don't care. So right, I've interacted, let's have a look. Sean Patterson, I've interacted with a couple tribes of them. Worst thing you can do is have a closed mind. They are just physical werewolves. They are all over Irish and Celtic mythology. Yeah, Sean, I get it. Yeah. So your mind, so basically your mind has to be kind of aware of them for them to be witnessed, which makes sense, because a lot of people that I've met, you get two schools of people, don't you? You get those people which no, I don't believe in anything. It's all black and white. And you ask them, have you ever had anything happen to you? Have you had seen anything thrown across the room? Have you ever heard anything? Have you had a voice? Have you had a door closing on its own? Has this ever happened? Has that ever happened? And they're kind of like, no. And it's a rigid kind of blinkered viewpoint. And you're kind of like thinking, you must have done your whole life. You've not had anything that you can't account for. Whereas, I personally go bumbling through and I can't help but trip over the paranormal stuff all through life. I couldn't help but trip over it. So, I don't know. It's just, but yeah, I get it, Sean. Yeah, I get it. I'd like to, just one thing I'd like to know more about the Irish folklore. I hear commonly called fairy wars for a good reason. See, that's interesting. See, we need to talk, Sean. We need to talk. I'd like to know more about that. I really would like to know more about that. I'm doing a fair bit of study on fairies at the moment, funny enough. Because a lot of people, going down the lines of the symbiotic kind of relationship in a way they have with aliens, large almond eyes, pale skin, pale sort of skin they have. Fairies usually kind of have thin arms, thin legs, long legs. Aliens, when you see, especially the greys, exactly the same, aren't they? See lights in the sky of aliens. Well, hey, guess what? A lot of accounts of fairies and fairy lore, they often see lights in the skies as well. Portals, fairy rings. People get abducted by, I don't know how I got into this, but I'll finish. I'll start it, so I'll finish. People get abducted by aliens and they lose time. In old folklore, it's away with the fairies. People get taken by fairy in a fairy realm. They come back and they've lost time. Sometimes you get it with UFO lore, where there's a strange I've been listening. Take for instance, I've been listening. It's been doing the rounds lately. The Sudbrick recordings. Sudbrick is Gary Sudbrick. There is Gary Sudbrick there, and it's this recording of this like kind of Men in Black type robotic voice. And it keeps phoning up this American guy, Gary, and saying the same kind of sentences over again, but they've analysed the voice, and it's just it doesn't alter for a little while anyway. Later on, he asks different stuff, and he's like saying, it will come from Orion, look up to the sky. When they appear, they'll come from the dark side of the moon. There'll be a light from the dark side. All this from ages ago, 1990s. But what I'm getting at is, oh, thanks, madam, for that. Yeah, I thought it was quite a good testimony. I believe the person, I really do. Yeah, so they have like things like doppelgangers, yeah. So these aliens, they either send men in black or these robotic sounding. You occasionally get witnesses that say there was something odd about that person. They weren't quite right. They were almost robotic. They came to the door and they were almost robotic. They weren't quite, they were just different. They were slightly off. They had an off feeling. And you have it in a fairy realm as well, where they take babies, especially, or children, and then replace the children with a usurper, a cuckoo in a nest, and they would, that was law. The smell, you get the like peaty off kind of smell of aliens that's been witnessed, and you get the smell of fairy lore. They have the same smell. More actually, I think, with aliens, more cinnamon. So it's been told. I was reading in a book, but the same kind of, bit stick in the back of your throat. Not very nice sort of smell. But don't know. Strange, isn't it? Maybe it's what we should be given at this particular time. Maybe fairies are not acceptable, and the guiding light is go towards blame it on aliens. Well, actually, it is fairies. Who knows? But yeah, I'll be doing some more research on fairies anyway, because I do find it interesting, and I find the correlation with aliens, fairies really interesting. Right. I found some interesting books as well. Very old ones. Some are very old. Talking like charity shop books. I don't think these things are in print anymore, but yeah. So I'm going to be rooting through that and getting some stories out. Sean Patterson, I don't know anything. Just have my experiences. Well, no, that's fine. That's fine. I'm down to chat sometime. Have some. Yeah, definitely. Yeah, definitely. I think we should. Because that's all we do have at the end of the day, Sean. We have our experiences. There's nothing which is kind of smacks us in the face and says, "There you go. That's a box." Now you open it up and there's a Dogman inside. No, there's not going to be. No, there's not going to be no alien. It's just going to be on our peripheral. We're just going to experience it, but it's a very personal thing. Once again, it's not going to turn up or down the cold meat section of Tesco's. It's not going to just land there, is it? And everyone's go, "Oh dear, I hope they got their club cut." It's not going to do that. It's going to be a personal thing. It's strange how it happens. Have you spoke to that lad who talks deep about werewolves? Yeah, Joe. Yeah, I have. Funny enough, I was talking to him yesterday evening. Yeah, so we're planning on getting him back. Gonna have him back. He has promised Monday, and I want to talk to him about Gaia. basically. So, but I'm gonna put my foot down with this one a little bit. You know what I mean? Because he can go on a bit of a tangent. And it's in a case, some people, like with Joe, lovely guy, but you got to light he knows himself. He knows it himself. You light the fuse, and just let it go. And the firecracker just goes. But that it's got to be kind of toned down a little bit, because he's too quick. His brain works too quickly, really, really quick. He's got a lot of knowledge. But yeah, I am going to have him back on very, very, very soon. I was thinking, I don't think I'm going to have him on as a live, because it might just be too much, but anyway, we'll see. Fairies, the Sean Patterson, fairies are in every culture with similar stories worldwide throughout history. Yeah, no, that's right. Yeah, they are. In Japan, they are called yokai. Yokai, yeah. I saw a good cartoon about that. Yeah, that's right. It was Madam. Yeah, it was Dawn. Yeah, his name is Joe. I will be having him back. Hopefully, it's going to be Monday. I'll be having him back, but I probably will record it, because I reckon I'm going to have to use that edit button quite a few times, especially with language-wise, and I can't keep up with the expletives, otherwise my finger would just go like that all the while. So, but no, interesting guy, and he's got a wealth of knowledge. I had a lot of people ask about him, so yeah, he has got a wealth of knowledge. Yeah, that's it. Can't wait for Monday, or when you put the podcast out. Yeah, madam, I will get that out as early as I possibly can. Yeah, I just got to. When you do these things, you've got to edit it and and then you've got to sort of put an intro, outro, blah blah blah. It's like kind of so. But yeah, I will get it out as early as possible. I have got another video coming out anyway, Saturday, tomorrow. That's the sounds in the forest. Really interesting. I would recommend you take a little listen to it. I've made it a little bit interesting because it's me going through the forest collecting the microphone, and I did spot something on the way. But I overlaid the sound. So the sound of me walking through the forest collecting my microphone, I muted all that, and I overlaid it with just excerpts, the most interesting excerpts of what I picked up overnight on a microphone deep in the woods. And when I say that you can hear gates opening, and strange, like a breath, this breath you can hear as clear as day, right near the microphone. I show you where the microphone is. I pan around, I show you the area, so it gives you a good rough idea of where these sounds are coming from, and if there's anything around that isn't, I can tell you there isn't. Yeah, this gate, middle of nowhere. It's no, you often get like, you get the gate switch half open in a semicircle, you go through the gate, but there's nothing like that around the area. And you're talking, it's over 25 hours of recording, but I've condensed it down to 15 minutes, just cherry picking the most interesting, unexplained sounds. 15 minutes of your life to listen to this, and it is interesting. At the end, keep listening to the end. You hear fox cries, but then you hear another cry in and amongst the fox cries, which I can't account to any other animal. But anyway, interesting. That's going to drop tomorrow, 7 p.m. It's released already, but it's on members only. So that's fine. So that will come off members only and go on to public. And then I've got another video to go on to members only. So right. So that's it. Can we talk about the green skinned children of Bear Pit, please? Yeah, of Woolpit. You mean Woolpit? Yeah. Yeah, the green skinned children. Okay. Well, recognised story was two siblings who were attending. Forget the land they were in now, but the land was like a perpetual twilight, and were attending to a herd of cows they had there, and they heard bells. And as they heard these bells, they, if I remember rightly, the sound took them towards. Oh, the screen's doing the thingy again. The sound took them towards a cave. So this young boy and young girl, I believe they were around about 8, 9 years old, something like that. And they went through the cave following the bells, left the cattle, and they came upon a Suffolk village called Woolpit, which wasn't in perpetual twilight, which had no it wasn't similar really at all to where the land they came from. And local people saw them, and they were amazed. They were like, the pea green skin, so much so that it's it was a oddity, absolute oddity. Now I worked in Woolpit for a little while. In the local village hall, they had a plate-to-plate heat exchanger. So where you got the stage, you then got a plate-to-plate heat exchanger. So I worked for a firm, a small local firm that's not running anymore, that used to put in air conditioning, plate-to-plate heat exchangers. We put in Resner, Powermatic, suspended gas heaters, all this kind of rubbish. Anyway, so they wanted one in Woolpit in a village hall, so I put one in there. And I was talking to some locals about it, and they said, I said, you got it on the sign, the village sign is of the two children, of Woolpit, and they wouldn't eat anything. They wouldn't. That's the funniest part. Some of the old locals, because this happened in the 15th, 16th century, perhaps. No, yes, I think it was about that. I could be corrected, but correct me if you can, because I can't get onto Google at the moment. But yeah, so and they wouldn't eat anything. And they were like kind of getting emaciated because there's nothing that they served up, the locals served up to them, that they would enjoy. They really wanted to eat. And the story goes, the only thing they would eat is, like these green beans. I suppose like peas in the pod green beans. Like fine green. One of my favourites, fine green beans, or French beans. But yeah, they French beans are really nice. So they would eat those, but raw. The boy sadly died. He got a bit ill and died. The girl, though, that's the interesting thing. The girl, she survived and grew up to be a young woman. She learned English. She's the one that told the account of as young children, where they came from. I forgot for the life of me what the name of the land was, they called it, but it'll come to me. And yeah, that was really sort of like interesting. She evidently, legend has it, she married and she had a child. So that would be interesting. That would be an interesting case study to actually try and track down genealogy of that child. Because it's only when you think about it, say, I don't think it was even as early as the 15th, 16th century. It might have been a bit later. But even as 15, so that's what, 4 generations? That's not that far back, really, when you think. Not that far back. So yeah, if she had a child, wow, I just wonder if there's any relatives now. I wonder. God, that'd be so interesting. Anyway, yeah, so yeah, so that was that. Yeah, so madam, that's what I know. Also another quick one. As I was in Woolpit at the time, in the company putting in this plate-to-plate heat exchanger, I bumped into Pike out of Dad's army. He was on parish council, I believe, but he came, yeah. Because I said, yeah, I know you. I know you. Yes, silly boy. Silly boy. He's like, oh no, not another one. Complete idiot. I suppose you. Oh, yeah, Dad's Army. You got it right. Yeah. Oh, I suppose you believe in Dogman as well. I do. Yeah. So anyway, Pike. Yeah. Bless his heart. I think he's passed away now, but yeah, really nice guy. He knew of the story as well, and he was a big advocate. Pike was. When I spoke to him, he was a big advocate of, yes, he believed they were real. He believed honestly that it did happen. So yeah, I wonder if there's a line, a bloodline, and also I wonder if that cave is still there. They came through it. And like a lot of folklore, like a lot of, there's always a grain, a thread of truth in this. There's always something. There's always a little nugget of truth, I wonder if that cave's still there somewhere. But, who knows? Interesting. But yeah, at the moment, madam, that's what I know. Let's have a look. Do you think you'll be going to the forest to look for the entrance this year? Hopefully, yes. I am in talks with someone about that. I am in talks with someone about it. 1305 to, was it 1305, 1151 is a time frame. So, right, okay. Yeah, fair while ago. So you remember the image I sent you, the personal opinion. Do you think that was them? Yeah, Dawn sent me an image that she spotted this green figure, basically a couple of figures on one of my videos, and I made it into a short. And it's fascinating. She's got Dawn Hewitt has got some of the most eagle eyes you could want to meet. In so many of my videos, I've got to tip my hat to you. In so many of my videos, she spots stuff. I just like blindly, I don't know, I didn't see it. Yeah. And she just spots stuff. And it's not until I go over it and I slow it down and I enhance it and I put it through some software and I go, oh, how did you get that? So yeah, eagle eyes. But she spotted these green figures in the forest. And funny enough, I was in Suffolk at the time because I got quite close ties with Suffolk. So I grew up, in around in Suffolk as well. So, so yeah, interesting. Now, what I want to do is, I was talking to, I done a co-hosting show. Was it yesterday? I think it was yesterday. Yeah, it was. For Kenny Thibodeau of Midnight Lycanthropy, and so that'll be dropping soon. But he sent me some photos, really interesting, suspected Dogman photos, which are posted on the North American Dogman page, Maine chapter. Okay, so you can go and see them there, but I've got them here as well, and I just want to show them because they're quite convincing. So let me just take that off for you. Hang on a minute. Okay. All right. The first one, obviously, it's taken in the States. You've got this figure here. Just around here. So what I did, I kind of like done a bit of processing on it. I had a little look, and I came up with a close up. So from that, yeah, it just looks like a black mass. But then when you get a bit closer, you can see that that is a rock. That is part of a rock. But interestingly enough, I'm not too sure what this is behind it. It looks like it's hiding, but I'm not too sure what that is behind it. So yeah, I had that. He also sent me another one, which is equally as interesting. Let's have a look. Okay. Yeah, this. So once again, from the States, and Midnight Like Entropy, Kenny Fubadoo, and it's posted. You'll find it on North American Dogman Maine chapter. But that is quite interesting. I processed that and I put it through some AI just to see if they can identify. The AI could identify it, and it came up with. It thought it was a Siberian husky, but you can see whatever it is, it's got mange here on its back, but it is an odd shape. You can see at the front the ears. Its rear end is towards us. Its ears and head at the front there, but it looks so scraggly. Looks so the fur is just so rough. Definitely mange or some. Yeah, I wouldn't go patting that. But yeah, I found that really interesting. Now that brings me on to the last testimony that I've got today. I'm just going to take a drink. This one is very interesting because I've got backup of video evidence and a photo, which it always helps. So yeah, right, hang on, let me a bit tea. Right. It was sent in from a witness. It was a chap who I believe was on TikTok and saw one of my videos, and we got chatting. And he sent me this through and the video, and I saw it, and I thought, oh, that's odd. Then when I saw the photograph, that's when I thought, that's something there. And the fur kind of reminded me of a big Dogman sighting I had, because it had the same type of fur, like no other animal has. No other animal has it. But I'll explain in the testimony that he is given. I spoke to him because I'm so 100% sure he is correct. He is bang on, and a more genuine guy you wouldn't want to meet. Yeah, he's not some person out there that sort of just wants to write a book on it or just wants to make money on it. It happened. I said, "Has it stayed with you?" He said, "Well, not really." He wonders what it is and what he saw, but it hasn't really stayed with him. It hasn't affected him. But it's it's really interesting. Just I found it really interesting. I'll just have a vape and I'll get it up. I've got to get it up on the other laptop. Bear with. Right. Okay. 1 minute. Honestly, it's Chromebook. Right. Okay. Okay. Right. Got it here now. So yeah, he came across with the video and he came across with the photo. The photo really done it for me. And he explained that he wanted to stay anonymous, simply because he's not going to take it on any further. He's seen it. He can't account for it. He's asked his friends about it. They don't know. And it's not like this person is a stranger to the woods or forest. After talking to him, I know he is definitely not. He's seasoned. You know what I mean? He kind of like knows what he's talking about. He's been hunting, fishing. He knows what goes on. And I doubt there's any animal out there that he hasn't either hunted or, seen at some point. But this thing, I must admit, it threw him. He really didn't know. And he said to me, look, can't get my head around it, Bill. Yeah. So, but. Sorry, just haven't had a vape yet, so. Right. Okay. So this is after the discussion this afternoon. He gave me all the information, and in all honesty, he said, "Phil, but I haven't got the patience to write it all down. But if I tell you, you can write it down and you word it. I'll word it in a way which hopefully, it'll just make more sense in the timeline." Right. Okay. So here we go. I just spoke this afternoon to the witness to confirm this account to get some detail. The witness was in the Dartmoor National Forest on private land camping. Okay. It was 3:30 p.m. Saturday, the 26th of the 10th, 2024, last year, October. So not that long ago. It was a bright day, no rain, clear sky, and a breeze in the air. The witness had permission from the landowner to fish at a nearby stream. When across the other side of the stream, the witness saw movement. Branches were moving in a particular area. This area is featured in the video the witness sent me. Right, so now look, what I'm going to do, I'm going to play you the video, okay? At that point, right? So it's kind of like what he witnessed, you'll be witnessing. Yeah, that's kind of like the thing. Here we go. Right, okay. So this is what video he took, which was across the stream. And evidently it was in a hollow of a tree. Now, before I do that, let me take myself off because it's a bit foolish having me. I'm going to. River there, look. You can walk across there, look. Yeah, straight down in front of you. Take a photograph of that there, look. Just take a photograph of that. That was right here. There's a Fairies loading by this there, look. Try to get it right in front of you. And just as you can go and check in there, look. It's out there. There's me there, look. I'm there. There's me the campsite there, look. So all these are all pictures. I haven't got the cojones to go in and have a look. Okay, so what we saw there was he was showing us the campsite on private land, and he was the only one there. He was the only one with a tent camping there at the time. He asked the landowner to allow him to go fishing. Camp owner said, "Yep, no worries, crack on." And it was at that point he just saw some movement. He saw movement, and then he saw that dark mass at the end of that log bridge where the branch had gone across the stream, acted like a bridge. Now I asked him, I said, look, why didn't you go across? Why didn't you walk across the log? Could you have done that? Now, this person's sort of like about in his 50s. He said yes. He said because he's fit as a butcher's dog. He could have done it, not a problem. He could have hopped across. But for some reason, he didn't want to because his exact words to me were, people are afraid of the unknown. And that, what he was seeing, was unknown to him. And this is a guy that is seasoned, okay? He knows what he's talking about when it comes to woods and creatures in the woods. He didn't go across. He didn't want to go across because that was unknown to him, what he was seeing. So, back to the testimony. So, did it had permission area and it's featured in the video the witness sent me. I showed you that. So, witness looked closer and could see a dark shape moving. The shadow shape was in contrast to the surroundings. To say it had form, it was moving clearly, and the branches. It looked to be hiding in a hollow of a tree trunk. As you will see in the video, there is a fallen tree spanning the stream, which could easily have been crossed. But after seeing a more defined features, the closer the witness looked, it was not something they had ever witnessed before. And this individual is middle-aged and has considerable knowledge of the outdoors, hunting for most of their life. Hang on a minute. Yeah, okay. Now, interesting. The fur is described as matte black but shiny. I suggested, did it look as if it had been painted with hammerite? You know, that hammerite outdoor paint, like gives a real glossy, shiny sort of look to it, particular look. The witness agreed that indeed this was a close description. So he said, I've got a bit of paper here, is it? I took notes from. Right. Because when I talked to him this afternoon, I just scribbled down some notes. Where is it? Come on, Phil. Come on. Matte. It's a matte. The coat was matte, but a shiny matte coat, you know, a shiny matte coat, which is kind of a bit of a contradiction in terms, really, isn't it? But you wouldn't go into a shop to paint your wall and say, I'd want that matte. Is it shiny? But I get it, because like when I spoke to him this afternoon, I said, yeah, in the sightings I've had, the fur is a kind of like it's been painted with hammerite. Almost, I said, almost looks like it's plastic, made out of plastic. You can quite easily see the fur is roughened. You know, like when dogs roll in fox doo-doo, you know, it roughens up, the fur does. But it kind of is almost like got a plastic sheen to it, you know. But I get it. I get exactly what he was saying. It has. But they heard no growling or panting. The stream is fast moving and masked any sound from the creature. Once again, honest. Could quite easily have said, yeah, because it was quite close to it. It could go, yeah, I heard it growling, heard it panting, you know, but it'd be no good lying. What's the point in lying? But yeah, so the stream couldn't hear anything. Now, interesting. I asked the witness, did they consider crossing the fallen tree to get nearer? They said they could have done it easily, but had a strong urge not to. Not to. What the witness did do was to pray. I believe he said the Lord's Prayer, but he's Christian and he prayed. That's how much at the time he was like, because it's unknown, he didn't know what it was, and it's like, oh, what the hell? And yeah, and I have nothing to be ashamed of. I have, when I've seen that, when I've been out in the woods, when you're out in the woods and it's late, dark at night, yeah, that kind of does work. Let's have a look. Right. The witness turned around and grabbed from their kit a thermal camera. Evidently, I'm not too sure on this one. He said it was an XC38. Not sure what make that is, but I'm sure if you Google it, you'll know. And turned back no more than literally a few seconds, and it was gone from the hollow. It was gone from the hollow in the tree trunk. just like that. Boom, gone completely. Right. In that short space of seconds, some distance along the river, the witness saw movement and clearer this time. Please see photo supplied. So he supplied me another photo of where it moved to, because he looked down the stream and he's like, what? And he took a photo this time of the creature, and this is really interesting. I wish my picture would stop flickering. Sorry guys about that. Hang on, let's have a look. Let's have a look. Quick catch up first of all before I show the photo. Madam Dawn Hewitt. Wow, that's mad. So very interesting. Yes, indeed, it was. I see ears and a snout. Yep, absolutely the same, Sean. I've got permission from the guy to make a video out of it. So I'm gonna sort of blow it up and make it a bit more boom. Yeah. So I'm gonna make a short out of it. Yeah, Delroy. Hello, mate. How you doing? Good to see you. Sean Patterson said, Kelly, 100%. Yeah. Dartmoor's about 9 miles away from me. Is it really? Yes, I remember. Because we weren't long talking when I was down in Devon, I think. Yeah, I was down in Devon, we were chatting away, weren't we? Because I'd spotted I spotted that stick man entity. I was in a hide across a river, and I couldn't believe it was like a stick man entity that was walking across this field, and I sent it to you. Yeah, I remember that. Let's have a look. Donna Wellham. Yeah, hi. Yeah, I was chatting to you a little earlier. Yeah, hello. Let's have a look. Hey, Peggy. Hello, Pegla. Very nice that you could make it. Yeah, good chatting. Hope you're keeping well, mate. Yeah, hope you're keeping well. Take care on the bike. Yeah, take care on that bike. You and Vince. Yeah, you're not 20. Make sure those ears are tied back as well on the bike. You wanna... well, I won't go there. But you got the first hand from Pinocchio. Or Dobby. Oh, yeah, he very often used to call me Dobby when we worked together. I don't know why. Maybe, yeah. But anyway, Sean Patterson, Donna said hi. Yeah. And Donna, yeah, hands up. Okay, right. Who wants to see that photo now? This is when that Dogman entity it moved. So remember, he turned around to get the thermal. When he got the thermal, he came back. It wasn't in a hollow of the tree. Where you had that fallen tree, like a little bridge going across the stream. Then you had that hollow of the tree, and you saw that shape in it moving, so it's slightly moving. And you can see like the face, the snout, and the ears. I'll bring it out, that image. I'll bring it out. I'll process it. I'll try. I'm not going to do any AI to it, that video. All I'm going to do is I'm going to just use contrast, but the usual stuff I do. Never use AI, okay? Only time I ever do it is on intros. I use AI sometimes on the intros to my videos. That's all, because it looks a bit flashy and, you know. But other than that, the content, I never do AI. Right, so let's have a look. I'll get the photo up now. Right, here we go. Well, I'll take myself off and I'll get that up. Okay, just 1 minute. Let me take that off for a start. That comment. Madonna. Yep. Very, very nice. Just sorting out, getting that right picture. Right, is that it? Okay, let me take myself off. Okay, that's the picture, but I did have a better one on that. Hold on. Aha, right, got it. Okay, sorry, thank you for your patience. Okay, right. What it was with StreamYard, you can have pictures as overlays, you can have pictures as backgrounds. Me being I has it as a background, no good, because it sort of blows it up, as you can see behind me. So I'm going to take myself off stage and bring up the one. Now, as it was sent to me, so it was a screenshot from his phone, which is fine. At the moment, that's all we want, because you can quite clearly see this creature. Right, let me just move myself. Yeah, right. Now, can you see that there on the right hand side of that picture? You've got that snout right there. And then you've got the body and the paws coming down. This is when it had moved. Okay, and it had moved downstream in a instant. Now that is quite credibly I would say a type 1 dogman, I would say. Could be a type 3, but it might be a young one. But that is amazing. That is really a good from a person that really doesn't want to make any more of it. He's not going out looking for cryptids. He just came across that one going fishing, and he sent me the details, and I was like, oh, I can't thank him enough. Brilliant. So you had that excellent piece with the video. River there, look. You can walk across there, look. Yeah, right there in front of me. Look, put the phone down right there, look. Just take the photograph of that. What was that look like here? Well, the Fairies load the light there, what? Where they got it, make the photograph of it. And this is, you can go and check in there, look. It's out there. There's me there, look. I'm there. There's me the campsite there. Okay, so you could see it moving. It's swaying. It was swaying. You could see it moving. And that got him. That got him. He did not want to go forward towards it. Can't blame him at all. Can't blame him. That was something that was unknown. He didn't know what that was. And I must admit, that was a good, genuine sighting. Then further on down the stream, bingo, bango, there you go. You saw it again. He turned his back for a minute and came back, and then boom, that's it. It moved on down. So yeah, So yeah, that's the let's see what the comments say. Yep, you see it. You have two other images covering the image. Oh, bugger, really? Oh, okay. Hang on a minute. From Patterson, beautiful area. Okay, right. Okay, hang on. Let me just try and get that up then. One last time, okay? Because it's worth it. It is worth it. One last time. Right. I'll get myself off and I'll put the video up first, okay? River there, look. You can walk across there, look. Yeah, straight down front of you. Put the phone down up there, look. Just take the photograph of that. What does that look like here? Well, the Fairies loading by this there, what? Where have got it make the photograph of it? And this is, you can go and check in there, look. It's out there. There's me there, look. I'm there. There's the campsite there, look. Okay, so that's the video. I'm pretty damn sure it's a Dogman entity. Pretty damn sure it is, looking at that. And that was only just last year. So I'm going to just get the photo up one last time. Let's have a look. Pardon me, I'll take it off stage. Okay, yeah. So you know, that was the two bits. So back to what he was saying was in that short space of seconds, some distance along, the witness saw movement and clearer this time. Please see photos supplied. We've seen that a couple of times. That's fine. A muzzle of a hound as large as a bear can be seen, but we have no bears in the UK in the wild. In the photo, still hiding. So the entity was still hiding. Looks to be very large dogman creature. So the witness shared the video with family and friends who know the woods and had experience as well in hunting, and still no one was able to give a clear indication of what was seen that afternoon by the stream in Dartmoor National Park. I want to thank the witness for sharing this with us and for talking to me this afternoon to gain a clearer understanding and to allow your testimony to be shared with the page and the channel. So I do want to thank you, mate. And as I say, with your permission, I'm going to turn that into. I'm going to enhance it just with contrast and whatever I can do without AI to enhance that. Stick it into a short and see if we can't bring it out a bit more, make it a bit more clearer than it is at the moment. Other than that, it's 8:30. I want to thank everyone for joining us, and you know what? It's really good to be back. I was a bit worried about it, you know. When you don't do it for a while. It's been about a month. I haven't done this, and I honestly was a bit worried. I felt like a virgin podcaster again, you know. And but no, let us know if I did okay. Let us know, if there's anything else you'd like to see. Would you like this to be kind of like a weekly thing where I just like sort of sit down, no guests? I'm going to have guests on, but not just sit down and just go through material and other stuff that I've come across or sent in to me, and just kind of like go through it a little bit. If it is something you'd like to see, I can do like I want to do regular days of the week, every week, regular days, because I think having a routine is quite a good thing. Let's have a look. Last thing, fairies are elegant little beings. I think, men. Yeah, they are. They are, Sean. That's amazing. No wonder he didn't want to walk towards whatever it was. Yeah, no, I know, Dawn. Yeah, it's good speaking to you as well, Dawn. Thank you, and lovely to see you back. Oh yeah, thanks. Yeah, it's good to be back. As I said, I did. Thanks, Kate. That's great. No, I'm pleased. I worried. I was worried. I was genuinely worried. I kind of, you kind of like get a bit, Um, good show. Thank you. Thank you, Sean. I appreciate that. And, to everyone, I just want to say thank you very much. Thanks, Dawn. And thanks for joining. Thanks for watching. It's 8:32. I'm going to get a bite to eat. And if you want me to do this as a kind of a weekly regular thing, just going over material, I've got other stuff I'm working on from the point of view of referencing material, then I can do that, maybe every Friday, who knows? And then I can do like interviews and other bits and bobs during the week as well. I have got a couple of videos to drop. Remember Saturday, tomorrow, 7 p.m. There's that audio. On the video as well, part has got a bit of a strange entity that you see. Just see it, but it's odd. But anyway, have a look, see what you think. Other than that, thank you. God bless, and speak again. All right, take care. Thank you for watching. Bye bye.